and welcome back to Ron Hasn't Seen. Today we're kicking off a series on musicals I haven't seen with 1962, The Music Man. The Music Man is the 1962 adaptation of the 1957 Broadway musical by Meredith Willson. Morgan DaCosta directed both the film and the original show, and the film star Robert Preston also came over from the stage version, and in the film starred alongside Shirley Jones, Buddy Hackett, and Ron Howard. It won the Oscar for Best Adapted Score and received nominations for Best Art Direction, Best Costume Design, Best Film Editing, and Best Sound Recording. Preston stars as Harold Hill, a traveling salesman con man who sells band equipment to small Midwestern towns with the promise of helping to train a band and get all the boys in line. It is really the worst and most involved con I've ever seen in a movie. It's totally unnecessary, and I think that's kind of the fun of it. Hackett is a retired ex-associate of Hill's. He's retired to River City, Iowa. Jones stars as Marion Peru, the town's librarian and music teacher. And Hill convinces the town that the kids are out of control, and that they're playing pool, which is kind of a degenerate game. And the band will give them the structure that they need to be, successful, healthy kids. So he sells all the equipment across town, including the uniforms. And while he's waiting for the orders to come in, he has to dodge questions from the mayor, other traveling salesmen who know he's a scam or trying to, get him caught. And he's trying to woo Marion at the same time as well. So just as everything arrives several weeks later, he's caught in his lies, and he's brought before the town, and he's saved by the boys come in as a band. Then while they're out of tune, all the parents are very proud of what their kids accomplished, and it shows he really did give them what he promised. I had never seen any version of the show before, so no stage or any kind of adaptation. But, I knew the plotline from all the parodies. The most famous parody really has to be Marge vs. the Monorail from season 4 of The Simpsons. Was written by Conan O'Brien and stars the late, great Phil Hartman playing the con man, Lyle Lanley. It's got to be one of the series' top episodes. Just plays the whole plot through. And then there's a Family Guy just broken into entire production number at one point of Shaboopy as Peter's end zone celebration dance in the episode Patriot Games kind of early in that show's run too. But it's also hard to not know the numbers 76 trombones, Trouble, or Gary, Indiana, if you follow any kind of pop culture stuff. The movie was fun. Felt a little long at times, and you can tell it was designed and directed by a stage director, primarily from some more static camera shots during the dance numbers, but DaCosta did a pretty good job most of the time of making sure it looked like a movie. There definitely could have been some more high energy moments at times, but there was plenty of good choreography during a lot of the numbers. Some of them do feel a little slow, but, things like Shaboopy bounce all over the place. I've seen some Hugh Jackman numbers, and while they definitely are more energetic than the movie, it wasn't that different. Everyone did a really good job in their roles, but for some reason, even though I knew Preston was the lead, in my mind, at some point I'd always just pictured Dick Van Dyke, and it just seems a very Dick Van Dyke style role, almost as if he was Bert from Mary Poppins. So I could see him doing this real easy. Buddy Hackett was a pleasant surprise. Didn't know he was in it. He just always delivered. He's always funny. And seeing young Ronnie Howard, it's always tough not to see him as, what he became. But, you always forget he was a big child star, too. And I don't mean just like Richie Cunningham. I mean Andy Griffin's show. As far as the musical numbers, I'd say Shaboopy and the opening number and the train take the cake for the most fun to watch and the most creatively presented, respectively. The way the beat on the train works with the moving of the train. Just clever wordplay. A little bit, I'd say, really kind of in that transformative era of musicals that wasn't just Rodgers and Hammerstein being Gilbert and Sullivan. This was going somewhere new. and we're starting to get that with about this age with the emergence of Stephen Sondheim. Things like Trouble, I expected to be a more more of a bop, more of a energetic number, but it was still good to watch. And 76 trombones is still 76 trombones. Other than a few of those main songs, most of it's hit or miss. But all in all, I did like the film, and I would definitely go see a live version, especially if I could have gone and saw the Hugh Jackman version. Would have been a dream. And I don't think I'm going to watch the movie regularly or anytime soon. It is a fairly long movie for how it feels. I'm not going to go ahead and turn it off. So, if you like musicals, it's a good classic to see. It does some fun things. It's a good story. It's not going to leave you like wanting for more, even though the ending is a little weird where it transfers from him just coming, like people seem to magically be transported into full parade uniforms and stuff. It's just a celebration ending, but it just feels weird after a very grounded story. So yeah, that's The Music Man. Next week should be Fiddler on the Roof. So stay tuned for that if you like what I'm doing here. Subscribe to the channel, like and comment below if you have anything to say. And thank you for watching Ron Hasn't Seen, and see you next week.